Hi everybody, and welcome to another stellar edition of A to JJ, the story of my radio career. We decided to take a step back because someone asked me what I had done prior to being in radio. Now keep in mind I got an internship at 17, so my previous work history is not all that fantastic, although there are some pretty funny parts to it. My first gig was at the Westboro driving range. I would think I was 14, and my next door neighbor's kid said, "Hey, I got a job. We can go to the Westboro driving range and pick up golf balls." So that's what we did. He was tall enough to touch the gas pedal, so he got to drive around in the car, and I got to walk the fence perimeter and pick up all the golf balls that were laying close to the fence that the car couldn't get. So, and then we used a plunger, and then I had a big basket, and I would dump the plunger out and keep going, bring it back to the basket. It took me about 2 months to learn that if I strategically put baskets in certain parts of the fence line, I didn't have to keep walking back to fill the basket. So we would do that, and we got 50 cents a basket. Now, what we used to do was we would get there a little early, get up all the balls out of the driving range, and then there was a big office building across the street. Some guys would come over early in the morning, like 9 o'clock, and hit balls, and they would pay us $1 a bucket. Well, we would run around and pick up the balls before the owner got there at like 10:30, so he didn't know that we were actually making money on the side. My next gig was mowing yards. I had about 6 lawn mowing gigs. One of them was painful because the older lady wanted me to use that blade rotary lawnmower that everybody had in the 50s and 60s that she had in the 70s, even though we had regular push mowers that started with a cord. That was painful, and I got $1. Most every other one I got $2 or $3 or $5 and got to use a lawnmower. Hers was painful. And then my third gig in the summer of '75, before I moved to Thurmont, Maryland, I was the ice man at Quality Catering in Northborough, Massachusetts. I would ride my bike over to Northborough, and I would get milk carts, the milk crates that gallons of milk came in, and I would fill them with ice and walk them over and dump them on the Quality Catering trucks where they had milk and sodas and things like that, and they would pay me $1 a truck, or as they call it, a bucket truck. And then sometimes the gentlemen would drive their trucks over to the ice house. That's what it was, because it made basically about 5 tons of ice a night. And I would shovel it and put it in there, and they would pay me $1 a truck. So I did this, and I was making good money, about $200 a week. In 1975, probably equates to $50,000 in a year, today's money. So I had a good time. I had a bunch of friends that we went to a Chicago Beach Boys concert and had a blast. And I'm pretty sure I bought the tickets for the 4 girls and myself and my buddy Chris. The one time there was a driver of one of the trucks who said, "Hey, can you just pull my truck up to the ice machine?" Thinking I was old enough and qualified enough to do that. Well, I got in his truck, and it was a stick, and I'd never drove a stick before in my life. So I got in the truck and turned the wheel all the way to the left side because there was a truck in front of it, and proceeded to let off the clutch and drove right by a steel pillar that was holding up the overhang of the Quality Catering. Fortunately, the steel pillar was stronger than the truck, and the truck cab fell right on the ground. And everybody else was laughing hysterically, and I was crapping myself. And the guy said, "Hey, you're lucky I have insurance, number one, and number two, why didn't you tell me you didn't know how to drive a truck?" And I said, "You didn't ask me." So everybody got a big kick out of that. Needless to say, I never got to drive a truck again. Join us again next time for another exciting edition of A to JJ, Stories of My Radio Career, and it's on our Facebook page at 1029 WHYL. Thank you. Till next time. Bye-bye.